Alright, hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Got my coffee here, ready to start again. Think now I need to talk to Kalisha Disco Goat Elysium. Need to finish up my conversation with
Officer,
her.
what brings you up here in the rain?
And then talk to the Hardy Boys. Let's see. Need to talk about your room again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about you? How's everybody doing? That window is new.
It is.
She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it. It's hot and pain. Same. I know your pain, and I know the heat. It's... Yeah, I worked pretty hard today, too. Unfortunately, I'm very tired. Alright, the lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. Empathy. He finds the answer unsatisfying. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony. Authority. Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. Narcomania is nothing to be proud of, miss. It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard? No further questions. Narcomania.
What did you say?
You heard what I said. Narcomania is a serious issue, and nothing to scoff at, miss. Nothing.
Oh my god. Now it's turning into narcomania. It's got to be serious if it's 2 words. I'm sorry.
The collection includes narca, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Antagonist? What?
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry.
You seem to have, among other things, peptide.
Oh yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically.
Cool. I took some for personal use. Show her the peptide. That's all as far as it goes, then. Show her the peptide.
Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
Rhetoric. It's hard to tell if she means it as in an earnest or as a joke. Other
All
questions? Okay, Eva. Oh, I think I remember this. I think this is the one where all of your different skills start arguing with each other. Show me. Authority. You made the right call there. Feels good, pure. About what? I'm talking about your zero tolerance policy towards the mania of narco. You're in the right there. Powerful stance. Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to become an anti-narcomania zealot? I am pure and steadfast, totally uncorrupted by narco. Yes, you're pure, unravaged by narco, of course. It's pretty obvious you've done a lot of drugs in the past, and will probably do more in the future, but that doesn't matter. You're right. I can't think of any objections. Of course not. You've always been an anti-narco militant material. You kept her off the dark course with that interjection. Are you ready to save lives? I'm ready to start saving lives. Opt in. I'm gonna pussy out at the last moment like a degenerate. Discard thought.
What? Never mind.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Look into her eyes. +1 slight confusion about bullet. 58%. No. She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearrange into a weary smile. Suggestion, don't worry. We'll protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs of sound of her persona. Drama. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. Electrochemistry. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. What is happening? Avert your eyes.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
No.
Officer, what brings...
Success. Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. What? You know these guys. Oh, Volition. Oh yeah, Volition. You know these guys? Logic. Who, me? Drama. Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. Volition. You too. Drama. Me? What did I do? I'm merely a master thespian. Volition. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info. You can't trust them anymore. Oh my god. What? I knew something was off. Oh my god. Volition. Believe it. Believe it. Which ones exactly are affected? How did this happen? Does this mean she's been lying to me? What is her plan? That's enough. Let's see. Which one exactly are affected? Volition, there's no way of knowing at the moment. I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Electrochemistry. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Volition. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. Electrochemistry. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol ziggy. Volition. Really quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Electrochemistry, glory, truth, softness, protects her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad, but this next guy's on another level entirely. Suggestion. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature. How did this happen? Volition. How does it all? How it always does. Through subtlety. What can I do? Exactly. It's all of his different skills are just conflicting with each other. Like, imagine just having like a complete inner monologue with all of your inner thoughts while two people just stare at you on a rooftop. Volition. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she's how she is. Things will go as they do. Can't you turn them normal again? No. What use is this then? It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? When the intrusive thoughts win. Does this mean she's been lying to me? Yes, Mr. Thespian. Here has been singing how do you say that word? Peons of how truthful she is. She is a lady most fair and just. I think that's literally how the voice guy sounds when you have the actual narrator on. He's like, "She is thou a lady fair and just." Peons. Volition, in his defense, to reduce him to much inadequacy, she probably had to empty half-truths more often than outright lies. Rhetoric. That is correct. And omissions, too. Can I trust that guy? Volition. A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair to something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted, not with her. Can I trust any of them ever again? Okay. Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them, just not with her. Perception, sight, a little green speck, and imperfection on the outer rim of her right iris. It sparkles. What is her plan? Volition. You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, logic. She may want to control the information rollout. Not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping. Unrelated to the case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. Volition. C. It's oddly moderate. Probably compromised. Let's get back to it. Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. Say it out loud. Miss, are you manipulating me? Don't say anything. Just close your eyes and let the moment pass. The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
That's it.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
Let's see. Khalees says she wasn't raped.
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
Rhetoric. This is a diversion. Stay on track. Crazy? What are you talking about? She was very lucid. I did think that, yes, that she's a little crazy. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Reaction speed. Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy.
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
Rhetoric. When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Island Empire. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Suggestion. Someone has to rush in and break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Logic. This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to. Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me. So what's on this tape? Where'd you get this tape? Where can I listen to this? That's enough. You lied.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Fix, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
Rhetoric. There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind. So it's on this tape.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Where did you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you've bugged them. How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then? I think I get the picture.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
The chief picks up his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Where can I listen to this?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
His voice echoes like thunder in the small room.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Interfacing. Your room had one, or maybe it's too broken. That's
Don't
enough.
forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Take the tape, fine. I'll listen to it. Leave the tape. No thanks, Titus. I can get this wrapped up better without it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Okay, well, I need to purchase the... what's it called? The tape player from the pawn shop. Oh, can I just play a tape on one of these boomboxes quick? Now I'll buy it. Because I need to use it later anyway. Can I get a discount on that boombox? A police discount?
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
Conceptualization. Remember, he doesn't like music, he likes sounds. The Door Gunner Megamix is his type of tape. Certainly, he'd give you a discount if he knew you'd play something so experimental. Fair enough, businessman. 12 it is. How does 10 real sound? Let's make it 8 real. I'm not just doing any police work. I've got the Door Gunner Megamix here. An era-defining work. Let's do 4 real.
4 real is offensively low, but just this once. For the music, concrete, cop.
Thanks for the discount, man. Here's the money for the boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Okay. Well, the bridge is open here. Pull the lever again. You grab the handle and pull the lever. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk, then the water lock starts moving.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
Esprit de corps. Focus on one thing. Achieve it. And then the next, he thinks. That's the task chain. No, we're going over there. The radio relay hums with electricity. The breaker box to power the radio pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside. Money. Oh yeah, I have to go up here. Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorry. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Oh, I got some glasses. Oh, my inventory's almost full, actually. I'm going to have to sell some stuff. I think I have to go back to the pawn shop, actually. Jamrock Biker Cop Sunnies. +1 empathy. Feel the streets. -1 logic. Leave the reason behind. For taking your Harmel Rio Super Sonics out for a ride on the streets of Jamrock, where your heart is buried. Let's see, what do I have on anyway? Let's see, I got the boots that I stole off the dead man. These gloves, I can replace the gloves very soon. This thing, I need that. The glasses, +1 logic, -1 authority. Let's see, I can sell that. Sell that too, probably. Actually, no, I can sell. Okay, back to the pawn shop real quick, because I'll run out of inventory space if I don't sell my garbage.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
There's something I'd like to sell.
Sure, let me have a look.
I think I'd like to sell my clothes.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
Okay.
And certainly not expensive armor that's liable to bring mercenaries to my doorstep.
I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here. Oh, the
Anything
pawn
else
menu,
you're
there we
thinking
go.
of selling?
Oh yeah, you can sell the postcards. Let's see. Okay, there we go. A bit of cash.
Another time, perhaps.
Someone has broken down the fence and barbed wire. I think you get the tape somewhere around here. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. There we go. I got a point I can throw into something. Actually, where's my... Oh, how long does this take? This is 7 hours left. Okay. And I don't think I have any more. No. Okay, let's throw something into full volition. I actually want to fail an authority check later. So, I won't put any points into that. Oh, Island Empire. Oh, esprit decor, that's always nice. Suggestion. I'll get an esprit decor. Actually, that's pretty. That's already at 5. I'll get a suggestion. Okay, Glory, says the graffito. The ghost of us. Someone's left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Gained the tape. The smallest church in San Sane. The smallest church in Saint Seine. The porta-reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. Press play on the tape. Not now. Put the tape away. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts playing. Spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Press your ear against the speaker. Keep your porta-reel at a harmless distance and wait. Then, the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Saint Seine, surrounded by an even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Island Empire. Within seconds, you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trashed your room to that Khalees told you about. Perform it. The sad, real sad boy hours. A click and then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this. No, I couldn't. It's too sad. I might cry and trash the room again. Scratch that. I'm already crying. And I look dumb and old. I can sing this. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics, since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times. 3 might be that's the best option, but I want to sing karaoke. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. Island Empire. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands in your way. What? Nothing can stop me now. Gart, You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself, let the pain out, make everybody understand. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything. Island Empire. Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere. What happened here? Discard thought.
In this yard?
The lieutenant looks at the small building. A flock of gray swallows takes off in the distance.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur. For cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Wait, what's a bloc obscur? So, this part of the coast is a bloc obscur.
A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war. Or one that has fallen to gang violence. Or has become inhospitable in some other way.
Encyclopedia. On aerial photos, bloc obscurs look like dark squares, hence their name. So this part of the coast is a bloc obscur.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
At least they left some old music behind. Tap on the tape you packed up. You're right. It's no place. Let's go.
Yes, and you picked it up as part of the Jamrock Shuffle.
He gives you a weary smile. Esprit de corps. It's not meant as nagging. Just an observation.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland. At least in this phase of the investigation.
Birds in the birch tree, barely audible coos come from above. A creaking ahead, a broken axle grinding. Banged up fuel canister, a dented stainless steel canister for transporting and storing heavy fuel oil. A logo on its side has been partly stripped over the years of use. The government-issued red dye fuel oil inside looks like paint, though it smells much, much worse. A bottle, drained of all its booze. It's frozen to the ice. Sunken motor carriage. A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insel Indian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. Empathy. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water. Interfacing. The seawater has already started to corrode the metalworks. This is where the tracks on the plaza were leading to.
It appears to be so.
The lieutenant has a peculiar look in his eyes as he inspects the wreckage. Let's investigate. We don't have time for traffic hooliganism right now. Let's investigate.
We should definitely investigate.
Island Empire. You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water. Volition. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea. Run your hand over the cold metal. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. Interfacing. A single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles, but this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't touched. Let's see. What is the make of this MC? Can I see a logo? The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by. How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Well, well, well. Looks like Jacob Ear's journey came to an abrupt end here. What should we do? Your mocking tone finds no response to the motion of the waves. But the motion... Let's see. Did you say something, Lieutenant? Yes, yes, rub your chin. Crazy recklessness. Yet another case of the engine displacement triumphing over the driver's IQ. Enough gloating. This is serious.
Yes, yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Logic. Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket? Esprit de corps. A joyrider jacket? You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyrider's district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would. How long will it take for the low tide to come in?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Sit on the swing and wait for the tide to recede. As you sit down in the old rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. Hold on, it looks very blue. Point to the sunken vehicle. Drama. Whistle a tune. Success. The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast to the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher-pitched and slightly more melodic trill. Conceptualization. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and a sunken car. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Rhetoric. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion. So, was your dad also, point to your eyes? The tide sure is taking its sweet time. Would you rather sit on an anthill for an hour or stand in a river of leeches.
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent and even cure many ailments.
A podcast question? Rhetoric. Okay. He's thinking. I can do this. Let's do this. Who'd want to sit on an anthill? There are no therapeutic benefits to conceptualization. Well, napalm ants, for example, are used in some rites of passage rituals. Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass. If you have to side with either the strikers or the shipping company, who would you choose? Do you think I'll ever find my gun? Man, this is taking a long time. Think I'll ever find my gun?
God, I hope so.
I've been thinking, if I put enough time into eating right and exercising, I could turn myself into a living weapon. Then, I wouldn't even need a gun. I don't think I'm ever gonna find my gun. Look around. The world is so big, and yet my gun is so small. I could be a living weapon. Your voice echoes in the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass. Can you make out the mark now? Squint your eyes and say, is that a number on the side? Proceed.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupri, Model 40.
Interfacing, yes. Why haven't you?
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people. You know, those kinds of people.
Proceed.
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Rhetoric. It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pitiological. Logic. Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle? 41 is the rank in the underground street racing hierarchy. Rub your chin. Small fish, this one. This must be Tommy 41, the morning host of FM 41. Looks like the factory made a mistake and accidentally called this one Caprice 41. Huh. Stupid factory. I hate guessing. District something, precinct something municipal. Rub your temples. You're getting a horrible headache. Oh God, no.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
Island Empire. 41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. Volition. No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry. No, no. Oh my God, it's mine. I drove my car into the sea. Proceed. No.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
No, I mean, seriously. It's just a coincidence. The lieutenant just shakes his head.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
Maybe I was in pursuit of someone. How do we get it out? I can still fix it. They're not gonna take me back after this, are they? The badge, the gun, and now this. Things were going so well. We were just whistling merrily. Well, at least I can see what's in there now.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
So it's just gonna be like that.
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
I can fix it.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
I don't have that kind of money. People are gonna be angry at me, aren't they? In Precinct 41. This is a disaster.
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
Logic. This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget. They're not gonna take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
The badge, the gun, and now this. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. Island Empire. There is also a 4th thing you've lost. A 4th thing? I don't want to hear about that. More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined, lost forever into the deepest of seas. Things were going so well. We were just whistling.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Well, at least we can still see what's in there now.
Yes, let's go take a look.
The ice just off the coast cracks, shifting, crackles, shifting. Logic. This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit, cigarettes, and empty bottles. All evidence it. Hold up. Don't you mean scene of the crime? Yeah, sure. It does look like a lot of folks partied here. Dismiss the thought. Not as much. I'm talking about what came after the party scene. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain. Hey Kim, looks like we've had a couple of partygoers here. Guess I'll be on my way.
Looks like it.
Looks like they had a great time laughing here. This was some kind of theater to them. A circus, production by a great clown. Was this party against the law? On the ice like this, it was probably a public danger.
Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses. Empathy. Somehow he doesn't want to dwell on it. What? Oh, I think I accidentally broke it. Hold on. Oh. Oops. Wonder if I think I made a manual save. I broke the game. Oh no. When was this? 104? Oh, yeah, it was just 2 minutes ago. That's fine. Let me... I hope this fixes it. There we go. RCM Commanders and RCM Commander's Jacket, +1 Esprit de Corps, United in Black, +1 Visual Calculus, Sharp Eye. A black uniform jacket with RCM's signature white rectangles on the right sleeve and back side. Letters inside the collar read LTN2JFR. The jacket is of exceptional quality, other than some minor wear and tear. There. RCM badge. LTN2JFR Dubois. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Next to the writing, you see a man stare back at you, a younger version of you, already disintegrating inside, but still presentable on the outside. I got the badge. A police badge on which you see a photo of a man, you. Some seaweed is stuck to the back. I found my badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
The lieutenant glances at the badge in your hands. Study the badge. Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and in the lower right corner, your precinct. Look at the photo. The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old. No doubt about it. I wish. He's not Harry Dubois. He's Krasmazov. Krasmazov, hobo cop. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. Suggestion. Good choice. A newer photo would look different. How old? I wish I could do that. That's 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. And he's winking. Why? Why do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. Name, Harrier Dubois.
Harrier? That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Everard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Wait, what kind of name is Harrier? But I don't want to be Harrier Dubois. Don't accept it. Harrier Dubois, it is then. Accept it.
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times, like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
Conceptualization. A name, like armor. Accept it.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
Esprit de Corps. He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge is in your hand, shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see the lines of information. Rank.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What is a Lieutenant W. Gefreiter?
A lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And double
The
Gefreiter?
title of Gefreiter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Gefreiter.
Declined.
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Esprit de corps. Heavy-duty case-solving machine. What is a décomptage? I thought my rank was drunk. Turn back to the document.
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens militia. It means counting down to twos.
That's my rank. Encyclopedia. The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the Revolution, which in turn was developed by last-century experimental psychologists at the University of Koningstan.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
What kings?
Kings like satellite officers and the additional Gefreiter rank I already explained.
Authority. The long and short of it is, you're his superior. Wait, satellite officers? So, you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior? So, you've been putting up with me because we're of the same rank. Thanks for explaining. Satellite
You are
officer.
given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite.
I'm your superior.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Empathy. He trusts you. For now. Try not to spoil it. I thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
Thanks. That gives me hope. I'm afraid there's no ex-alcoholics. I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. That gives me hope.
Good.
Turn back to the document. Serial Rev 126205 Jam 41.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Oops. Date of issue 7th of November 50.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
Logic. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well. But better? Probably yes. Island Empire. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that, you are sure. Precinct 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
He stops. What?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
Esprit de corps. It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks, but then again...
But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Encyclopedia. Roberts, Feuerbach, Demetier. Suddenly, names of your decomptage flash in your forebrain. The badge in your hand. Oh, it's the same. Put the badge away. Footprints in the snow. They lead away from the accident. There was a boat tucked away underneath this tarpaulin cover. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. Oh. A cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. Postcard, Coal City 08. This postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue, cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the color of old teeth, gives you a sickly look. Oh, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence, repeated twice. I got out. I got out. No addressee. And the bow tie. The bow knot. +2 drama. Theater kid. You're sure that wearing this tie is a statement. You're not sure what kind of statement, though. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. The underside of the boat has recently been tarred. I had to walk all the way around for that. The smell, seems the walker was either very confused or drunk. Smell of the seawater. What? Quick travel unlocked, the fisherman's shack. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Here. I think I should get the gloves first. I think I can get that here. Let me save to make sure. A flower, though we're making, really grows, maybe in spring. Book, prime. Book, a prime, for small a primer for small kids. A textbook. For the first grade in primary school. On the cover, a humanoid teddy bear is pushing a wheelbarrow full of letters. He's not doing a good job. The letter S is dangerously dangling from the cart, while E fell off a long time ago. Children should pay more attention. Hard to see the details. The colors are all warm and welcoming. Are cozy, though. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Okay, ruffled groose. Ruffed grouse taxidermy. The dead body of a grouse, stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance, it might just pass off as the real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity. She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around. Where are your parents? What's this? Show her the stuffed bird you took from the ceiling. What's that thing you're holding? Points at her toy. Where are your parents?
My mom's outside, and I don't really know about my dad.
She gives you a bright smile, like it's a good thing. What about this bird?
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly. Suggestion. You might be able to get on guard's good side if you make it up for the school you broke. Yes, but what is it for?
I don't know.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
And what's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate. Lammy is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts. Lammy looks like he's falling apart. Lammy looks soft. Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lammy. Lammy looks soft.
Yes. Very soft.
Suddenly, she pushes the stuffed animal towards your face. Press your cheek against Lammy. I don't deserve it. I'm scum.
Isn't he soft?
Healed morale. She's right. Lammy is very soft. She rubs the white fur against your cheek, then returns the lamb to her lap, cuddling it. Goodbye.
Bye!
She didn't mention the gloves, which makes me wonder if they're actually back here. I don't think I can get them at the moment. I forget what you have to do for them. Oh, well, I'll talk around first, I guess. Washerwoman. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed. Encyclopedia. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran. Possibly Saganian. Also known as the apricot Suzantry.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
If you can't see, then how did you know I was here? Lean forward. What if I don't want to later?
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
What he said, we're cops. We don't cause trouble. We take care of trouble. We're cops. We're we're cops. We're hell racers. Click, click, bang, bang.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before. What kind of ill omen are we talking about? I am an ill omen, alright? If I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind
He
her.
was boarding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
Conceptualization. See, she said it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat. What kind of an ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
Island Empire. That's you all right, a black hound licking your own heels. I am an ill omen, all right. Why hasn't anyone told me?
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
How much is it? I don't know if I can afford another place to stay.
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Wait, oh, hold on. You're just giving it to me? I'm not sure it's appropriate for the RCM to accept free accommodations. There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night, just so I don't die out in the cold. Okay, I'll take it. Get the keys to my new home.
No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there.
This is Guy Gart. He makes me pay money.
That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours.
Wait, why isn't anyone using the room? One more time. I could just have the room? You got yourself a tenant. Get the keys to your new home. No, I don't want a free room. It's not proper. Stay at the Whirling in Rags. Wait, why isn't anyone using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
I can just have it?
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
I need to look something up real quick. Yeah, I forget if you... I don't know if you can... Hold on. It would probably... let's see. Encyclopedia. When Vasan communist revolutionary Ignace Nilsson was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months. It would help me stay in touch with the proletariat. Nod. This could be the first chapter of my rags to riches memoir. No, this is real Rivasholian hospitality. That guard must be half-kipped or something. Unfortunate that incremental development hasn't elevated this neighborhood yet. I see potential here. I don't need much. This sounds just fine.
You best not be plotting another revolution under my roof. We barely got through the last one. But the room, do you want it?
No, I don't want a free room. It's not proper.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the place.
A key appears under her apron. She hands it to you.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
Empathy. He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Volition. Should he? This environment encourages one thing and one thing only. Drinking. What is in this fishing village? What's further down the coast? Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here? Goodbye, I'm off.
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
Conceptualization. The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny. This place is pornographically poor. There's got to be something here, tell me. Who else lives in this village? Is there a way to make a little money around here? Alright. I'd rather change that.
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
It's pornographically poor.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
The woman smiles, cryptically. Composure. It's a cold, cynical smile. Oh, there's the...
Fits with the general ambiance here.
There's the Genshin Impact update. I'll be playing that on my own. I don't think I'm going to stream that, because I will be visiting my family on Thursday. So, I won't be streaming from Thursday to... I'll be back Sunday, I think.
Aye. Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing.
I'm lost too. I'd really rather go back to talking about the village.
Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days.
I think I'm in the process of finding myself again. Maybe I should stay lost, just move here and disappear completely. I'd really rather go back to talk about the village.
Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Something I can do for you to find your way, officer?
There's gotta be something here.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
The pox? What's that?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain.
Nope, I walked into some random person's house and I stole a stuffed bird. Oh, and I petted there was a little girl who showed me her toy lamb, and she let me rub it against my face, and it healed my morale because it was a fluffy little lamb toy. And now I'm talking to some old woman, and I called this village pornographically poor.
After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see.
Softcore. Me too. What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Oh, see, there it is. This place is pornographically poor. Who else lives in this village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
Oh, and she gave me the key to a shack that I will be living in now, instead of the whirling in rags. Now I live in a hobo shack. True hobo cop. Well, not true hobo cop. There's there's something else for hobo cop. I'll show that later. Who? What drunks? I'm not really interested in the town drunks, but thanks.
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Alright, there's another topic I'd like to address. What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
Empathy. She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking. I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on? What else is down the coast? Let's see.
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Oh, rattlesnakes for dinner. Well, Yeah, I grew up pretty poor myself. For the most part, just me and my mom and my two brothers. So, she did all she could for us, but you know how it is. Logic. Interesting. You could look into this ruckus, if you have the time. What else is down the coast? Okay, thanks, I've heard enough.
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then, apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note? Okay, thanks.
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Who'd want to come to a fish market here? That's it? There's gotta be more along the coast. Alright, got it.
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it? There's gotta be more.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant Double Yefrater Harrier Dubois. I lost my name.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope. Goodbye, I'm off. I'll do that. I'll do that thing later. Where's the tarp at? Is this it? Nah, that's not it. Thought it was around here. I have to go up there. Oh. The sound of life in the north. A washboard scrapes filth from fabric. I need to get the armor gloves, but I forget who I need to talk to. I think I have to talk to Manana, because they're over there. I tried to get them. You have to interact with the little girl in the house, and then she like tells you that she buried them in her sandcastle, and then you have to go get them. But there's something you have to do to like trigger it, because I think maybe I have to talk to Manana about it. Because we talked to Kuno about it, and Kuno said he threw the helmet into the ocean. And that Manana saw him with the armor, so I might need to talk to him first.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
The weasel I visited, it turns out he was one hell of a colonial mug collection. Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys? Let's see. Hey, you're the man in boots at the gate. Kuno said you know... Oh, there. You know about the armor.
The little boy had the good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno, yeah, used us to, what, scare you? The probe into the armor. What did you learn?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
Probe into the armor.
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots... Well, it looks like you're wearing them. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up, 4 pieces, helmet, cuirass, gloves, boots, but the legs.
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
There's a reason that there aren't pants that will... that we'll see about later. I'm ambitious. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good to find all of it. I'm gonna find all of it, all the pieces. Actually, I may have better things to do.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay. Let's...
Oh, he wasn't done. Okay, let's find all of it. It's implied he finds it unlikely that he will succeed in this.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. Especially getting those boots off him. You'd have an easier time wrestling the spurs off a boyadero than that.
Well, I already did. Let's see. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Empathy. He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now. Visual calculus. You look down at the white ceramic sabatons, hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. Perception hearing. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like a dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off. Decked out in future armor, like a cop ought to be. Discard thought. Visual calculus. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks. and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. Composure. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability. Yeah, I want the full set. This gear could line my pockets with cash. I could probably sell it to some other cops. This is the long sought-after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it. I want the full suit. It may be a while before you can have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze the armor. Figure out its vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities? Thought gained. Fairweather T500. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe it. Its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. Half-light. For the day, you have to fight someone covered in the same material. Foreshadowing. Oh yeah, I forget how to fast travel. Actually, I might need to talk to Cindy about the armor first. I think maybe I talked to her as well. I talked to somebody. That's not a completely non-ominous thing the half-light thing just said.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Oh, here, yeah, okay, I do talk to her. So, you won't talk about the murder, but maybe you can tell us something about the murder victim's missing armor.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the, body. Come on, Cindy, just help me out here.
Ugh, alright. Sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell.
Reaction speed. Could that girl have been Little Lily? It's not a bad place to start. I know a little girl in the fishing village, Little Lily.
Could have been her. Small kid with giant white armored hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
Logic. There weren't any other small girls in the village. Oh, is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Perception sight. She does have the eyes that seem to be smeared with coal. Really? You're a miner? Don't you have a real home? It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Really?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
Cool.
Shoot, Piggy. It's...
I forget how the fast travel works. let me save. Oh well, I'll just run there. It's not very far. Oops. Oh, I can't go that way.
Hello, mister.
The nitpicker's daughter waves at you. I heard there was a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
Empathy. She doesn't want you to think she stole them. And where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into into its one remaining eye, as though searching for confirmation.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Goodbye.
Bye!
Let's see. Actually, hold on, let me save. I think there's a skill check or something. The fortress is still defiantly standing. There's an inviting gleam of something sticking from the depths of the deepest cellars. Broken. Reach in the catacombs and pull out the shiny object.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it slip in such decrepitude.
Reach into the catacombs and pull out the shiny. There, got the thing. Task complete. The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed. Collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Here we go. Fairweather T500 gauntlets, +2 interfacing. Strength in digits. Clenching and unclenching your fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic plates make a lovely clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. There we go, 2 pieces down. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. You can't see into the house from this angle. Shack door. The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted. Unlock the shack door with the key. Never mind, leave. I'll leave for now. I'll have to come back there later. What are these doing here, doing in the fish? The planks creak beneath your weight. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. The boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots, +1 perception. A view from above. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. The heel comes in handy too. It definitely makes for some good makes you a good 5 centimeters taller, but could it be that it's also making you sharper, more perceptive of your surroundings, now that you've gained a new perspective?
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in the scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly? I've questions. The first is, what's your name?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
I have questions. Oh, I'm good, leave. That's...
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Illogic, indeed. You're always confused as to your whereabouts. Suggestion. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice. I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help. I was asked to get your signature. Hand her Everott's envelope. What do you do around here? Nice sword. Point to the saber on her hip. Does it come with a story? Is that your boat? Point to the overturned boat.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Hold on. Do you know how to use it? It is imposing. Nod. Isn't that what guns are for?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Can I borrow that sword? Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? So, where are all the men now? Can I borrow your sword?
I'm afraid not.
No.
Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed. Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Gone where? Gone? Coward. I would never leave anyone. He disappeared. Sounds like a missing persons case.
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh god, another triple digits, huh? Yeah. Sounds pretty rough. I can't even handle like anything above like 85 is pure misery here. So I can't imagine more. That's bad. What happened? Oh, say no more. Wait for her to continue. He died? Was he murdered?
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death. Imagine saying to somebody, they told you their husband died. I shit on death. You should have thrown yourself to the waves after him. Nod sagely. Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it? It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village, where two little kids are playing with what looks like rocks. Empathy. This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. Electrochemistry. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action. I'm looking for someone. Could you maybe help?
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a missing cryptozoologist. A working class husband. I'd like to ask something else.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for imaginary animals. People who look for animals who are hard to find. People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
Two old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Wait, the like? Where'd they go?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Conceptualization. Oh, you're getting it, and it is gorgeous. Where'd they go?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Talking about Burning Man. Oh good, I can get another thought cabinet here. And put the armor thing in there. How long does that take? 3.5 hours. Oh, let's see. The Fairweather T500 temporary research bonus -1 savoir-faire hard move. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't leave even a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it. Like, that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure out what it is, possibly by beating yourself while wearing it. Shooting yourself? Let's see. I'm looking for someone, a working class husband.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
The husband isn't for me. I'm looking for him for his wife.
Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
Empathy. She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you. That's it, I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I was asked to get you... Nah, I don't want to do that yet. What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
What else? Is that enough to make a living?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Rhetoric. Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. Suggestion. That is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now. Interesting. What have you found? I never thought the sea brought in anything particularly interesting. Walking on the beach sounds quite romantic. Alright, I think I get it. Let me ask you something else. It's interesting.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
Rhetoric. Alright, major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely. I need to know about those human bodies. A mine? The RCM could use a mine. Where is it? Drugs? I need info on this major narc. Point to yourself. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave? Okay, enough about this place. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave?
Where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something.
You just gotta follow the work. That's where the money sleeps. Anywhere with better opportunities. Just somewhere. Close your eyes. Away from all this sadness. I understand what you're saying. It could be worse elsewhere.
Exactly. I don't mean to complain about my sad pauper life. We do manage all right. We're tough people here.
Volition. She would like to complain. She would like that very much. But she can't and she won't. Though has gotten her this far. And she's not giving it up. So I take it this is your skiff. Point to the overturned boat. 3%. She needs to go out on a date with another drunk badly. 3% success chance. -1, Kim's presence makes it awkward. -6, don't know a good spot yet. Explore the coast.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
It's like, Kim, you're a third wheel. Get out of here. Be seeing you. Cinder blocks charred a makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. You see a dust-covered linens, dried tulips on a bed. I think the camera broke again. I'm going to have to fix it in a minute. White curtains have been drawn shut. No looking in. That's just a bench over there for speeding up time. Where are the drunks at? Oh, there they are. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass the... Oh, I have to go around. Oh, there, fix the camera. Shivers. A drop in temperature. An easy flow of air. An empty street. Before you. A thoroughfare. Unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence. What did the smoke smell like? Echo the moment. Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with black asphalt. The asphalt first laid its gray already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance. Who are the people who live across the road? What about the bus stop? A tub, warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while the radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles, a drawer full of silverware. It's my rogue build in Diablo. Suggestion. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money, but only slightly. What about the bus stop? Number 31 2D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to a school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost. What about the road? Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of flow of trade. Perception, sight. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn. A dead dog. Tragedy came from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea grows distant. That is enough. Finish thought. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Hey, tequila!
A 30s... Oh, this is the Idiot Doom Spiral. This will be interesting. A 30-something man, clad in a two-piece lycra TM tracksuit, put down his Pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
Shake his hand. Don't shake his hand. Shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila? Well, nice to meet you, but I've got to go. Tequila.
Yeah, tequila sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He takes a sip. Rhetoric. He says it like it's obvious. It's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Island Empire. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later. Not too hot. I'm on a 50-year losing streak. Reality, it makes me aggressively sad. Don't know. People tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that. I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I am the law. Well, nice to meet you, but I've got to get going. I'm on a 50-year losing streak.
That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Make it 5.
He looks at his shit-stained Lycra TM with a grim expression.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Suggestion. This guy's your buddy-buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks. What do you guys do around here? What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it.
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please. Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe. Don't call Abigail.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
Yo ho ho. What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. Your tequila sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
Encyclopedia. Nope. You sure don't. No? Maybe?
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
He's got all the best hits. Island Empire, Tequila, Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there. For some reason, the name Tequila fills me with foreboding. Maybe I shouldn't learn what that means. Go ahead. No, this sounds scary. Back up.
You think you feel bad now. Wait till you've heard the story.
Island Empire. No. You need the wisdom. Go ahead.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
I prefer my foreboding to be vodka. Wait, did we meet on Friday? Was I alone?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
There actually is an option to do that. Just if you want. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can. What happened then? Wait, this doesn't sound like me at all.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Perception hearing. Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally. I want to get off this story train right now. Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
True.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
Oh my god, what happened next? Say nothing. It's more dignified that way. Every word I said was true. Tequila Sunset will break the looms of reality. What happened next?
Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Interfacing. The muscles in your right hand tense up.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
Rhetoric. In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name? Tequila Sunset, huh? Sounds pretty good. My real name is Harry.
I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone.
My real name is Harry.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Did I tell you anything specific about the person that fucked me? Did I mention losing anything else? Did I say anything about my colleagues? Did I say anything about the case? Did we talk about, politics? Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Damage to my health, I gotta heal. Island Empire. Please don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Rosemary.
Abigail.
Don't call Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
Empathy. It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop. Did we talk about politics?
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
He takes a long sip of beer. Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop, and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
I don't need to hear any more.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Wanna tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right, why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yes, wanna tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral? No, actually, I've heard enough stories for a lifetime. They S-U-C-K. Goodbye.
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
Drama. You might get scammed here. I have a feeling that this is going to cost me a lot. What do you need?
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. A little motivational package.
What do you need?
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
I've got this special strike brew the Union uses. Give it. We got some sweet Commodore Red. Give it. I don't have any on me right now, lie. I don't want to give you any alcohol. I'm not an enabler. Don't do it now. Here, take the strike booze.
Interesting. Ah, this is what they use to keep the working men going.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high-concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Wait, how many people did you have working for you? Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
What happened? He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound. Perception sight. His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. Conceptualization. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. the reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly? Go on.
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
There's a trace of desertion in his voice.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch. I would have landed on my feet. I've got feline reflexes. Say nothing.
Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
You've got to be shitting me. Okay, so what happened next?
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
I'd buy that. Empathy. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
He takes a long swig of his drink. Wait, is that it? I feel like there's some steps missing. I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem that bad. Look on the bright side. You've got one hell of a story. Do you realize all of this is your own fault? I literally can't believe it.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Exactly.
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem that bad.
The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff? I want to hear the story of your name again. Have you got any more stories? You keep losing all your stuff.
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece Lycra tracksuit?
TM.
I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
Empathy. You, of all people, should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with. What was the name of your agency? What's up with the tracksuit? What about the other drunks? What's this about lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Wait, you're asking a police officer to help find a jacket you stole and then lost. Okay, sure. Where'd you lose it? I don't have time for this.
Yeah, exactly. You're here to serve, right?
Okay, sure.
If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market.
I just realized this guy reminds me of, a Baldur from God of War. That's a lot of places.
Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
What was the name of your agency?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
He looks towards the bay. Logic. If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't. Mixing oil painting and breasts to make ads isn't high art, it's just cynical wankery. Cynical wankery. That's so high concept, I have no idea what it means. Man, mixing high and low, commodifying culture, this is extremely my shit. Right, okay, never mind.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising.
Maybe. But it's still tired. Yeah, actually, you're right. Let the market sort it out. No need for me to regulate this stuff.
Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe we were behind the curve? We were fucking rich, though. That much I know.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on. Feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm. Touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
He takes another sip. Damage to morale. Interfacing. Impossible. Failure. Well, that's... And I have pretty high interfacing too, so that must be a very hard passive check. Good God, it's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Encyclopedia. Randomized trials have also found Lycra TM to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So, you also have that to look forward to. It is gross. Feeling 15% less human as well. And then, there's the smell. But, you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime.
What about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
Let me ask you something else.
I'm all ears, Tequila.
You got any more stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
I've got some sweet Commodore Red. Give it.
Classy.
He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Koran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Hett is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal. Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks up to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
I don't know. What? A horse? A giant coconer.
Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man...
Drama. The pause is long and dramatic.
With no head on his shoulders. Wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought that the Foundless Helm Rider rode a bull. Whoa. That sounds pretty implausible to me. That's super spooky.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
The lieutenant says with a little smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man.
That sounds super spooky.
Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Hett had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again. And she's one of the lucky ones.
He takes a sip from his bottle.
Gertrude Hett may have been the first to witness the headless found rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file, but please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above, the first cold rain of the season. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Island Empire. Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Faun Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
He looks at you straight in the eye. What did the case file say? Ask him. What happened to Ultra DuPont? Ask Doom Spiral.
Word on the street is that she... you know...
He makes a finger pistol with the right hand and lifts it up to his chin.
Gave herself facial deconstruction surgery. Real grisly stuff.
That part, at least more or less, corresponds to the case file.
See? Told you.
The man takes a long, self-satisfied sip.
Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faun Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was the headless Faun Rider before he died? I've really seen some weird shit on this case. A headless jockey in a tracksuit fits right in. That's nothing. I've got an even crazier story.
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost found cap, plotting revenge.
Esprit de corps. Oh, headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline. Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
Island Empire. For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all. I've got a hunch that it was the undercover cop. I'd want revenge too. I bet he was the jockey. He seems super committed to his sport. I've got to agree, your theory sounds the most plausible. None of those really sound plausible, to be honest.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
I've already seen some weird shit on this case. Headless jockey in a tracksuit fits right in.
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
That's nothing. I've got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
What about the Col de Mamadaqua? It's a magical self-replicating sound. The gnome of Jeroma dissolves its victims with acid. The giant of Coconur is as big as a mountain. There's the kind green ape. It's very kind and green. Yeah, actually, you're right. Nothing comes to mind. Col de Mamadaqua.
I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a found tracksuit, though.
Okay, whatever became of the headless found rider?
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
Ooh. He makes a spooky gesture with his free hand.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
You got any more urban myths?
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
I don't have any on me right now. Man, you're really bleeding me dry here. I don't want to give you any more. Don't do it now.
If you find any, I'd be extremely grateful. You too, Tequila Sunset.
There we go. Tequila Sunset. Alright, well, that's going to be it for me for tonight. Yeah, that guy can... a true storyteller. Yep, I'll be on again tomorrow, but then Thursday, the day after that, I'm gonna go visit my family, and I won't be back for like 4 days. I'll be back Sunday night. Alright, so thank you very much for watching, and have a good night. Oh, well, thank you. I'll be on tomorrow, though, but after that, Thursday, I'll be visiting my family. Hopefully that goes well. It usually doesn't. But alright, well, have a good night.